This is LKJ Sports. My name's Clayton. I have here with me Leo and LJ. On this episode, we're going to talk about the NFL and give a little recap of this past couple of weeks, and then also what we're going to predict for the future. Just give our opinions. Maybe talk a little bit about our teams or our teams that we hate. You never know. So let's start off, Leo. Go ahead.
All right, bro. Yeah, man. Oh man, the past couple weeks, man, been crazy, man. Just with the injuries, man, and that's the thing, and just I think this season, man, is more so than what we've seen a few seasons before. Is just teams' depth is really getting tested, because a lot of star players, you deal with injuries every year, right? Especially in football, just a physical contact sport, so your people are going to get hurt, but I mean, you're talking like big time players are getting hurt, like Nick Bosa and, people like that are getting hurt for the whole entire year. Purdy's been in and out, Lamar's been in and out. You know what I'm saying? Najee blew his Achilles. Joe Burrow, I mean, one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the NFL is out 3-4 months. So I think just, man, it's really testing people's depth and really roster construction has been very important. And it's been wild, man. And also, man, I would be curious to hear you guys' takes on it later on too, man. The defense has been awful this year from a lot of teams. Like the defense that I've been seeing play, man, has been horrible. Guys are running wide open. You see missed tackles all over the field, and I don't know. I know you're gonna always have teams that have bad defense, but it feels like it's been more prevalent. It feels like a lot of the better teams or what we will consider better teams have been having issues, like the Bills. The Ravens, I know the Ravens only won 1 game, but I'm saying their defense is god awful. Dallas, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's even times where the Chiefs are getting mauled and the Eagles are getting through on all the time. And it's just been weird. And it's just been weird when it comes to that, man. But I'm going to start out with something. Caleb Williams, man. Caleb Williams. What can I say, man? 0-2, right? Started 0-2. The sky's falling. Oh, Caleb's not accurate. Oh, Caleb, he was #1 pick, right? A bust. What'd he do? Dallas 31-14, walked them down, right? Raiders 25-24. Commanders 25-24, right? 17-29, 252, 1 touchdown. Game-winning drive in 2 consecutive games. I know they had a bye week, but 2 consecutive games, he had game-winning drive. I mean, man, Caleb Williams, man, what can I say? I said it from the beginning of the season, and I'm sticking with it. The Bears are going to the Super Bowl. The Bears are going to the Super Bowl. They won't win, but they're going to the game. I believe in Caleb Williams, man. That dude, man, he plays his ass off. He's athletic. He can throw. We all know this. Chicago gets cold as hell, and probably within the next month. And he has an arm strength that can play in that type of weather, man. D Swift finally had a good game. Their O-line seemed to be blocking a little bit better Monday night. Their defense surprised me, man. Dennis Allen got them boys flying around. Tyreek Stevenson, Kevin Byard, Tremaine Edwards. They got Montez Sweat. They got them boys just flying around, man. And I was just Jalen Johnson. I've just been impressed with the Bears, man. And the thing that's got me a little hesitant, their O-line is hot. They had a good game against Commanders, but that O-line, man, is just so up and down. So that'll be interesting. But I just think it's funny how all of a sudden people want to heap this praise on Caleb when they were killing them, right? But he said, hey, just watch what I do, not what I say. And I respect it. One of my, now I do have the E-Crow on this one, man. Baltimore. I mean, hey, I had Baltimore in the AFC title game. I didn't think their defense would be that bad, man. Shout out to Zach Orr, one of my former teammates, a big Zach Orr fan, but which is their defensive coordinator. But I mean, they're struggling right now. Just got to be honest about it. And I think the thing that is so surprising to me, why they have like all pros, they're basically at every level. You know what I mean? I mean, I know, Madubuike is hurt, but Kyle Van Noy was a Pro Bowler. Roquan Smith, he's hurt, but he hadn't been hurt the whole year. He's a Pro Bowler. Kyle Hamilton. Then you got Kyle Hamilton. They drafted Malachi Starks. You know what I'm saying? They went and got Alexander from Green Bay. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, they just got great players all across the board. And I don't know, man. That's what makes me wonder, is it a scheme thing? because it can't be the talent, man. They're loaded. Like in every position, they're loaded. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. It's just been surprising. Lamar was doing Lamar things, but and then I know Henry had the fumbling issue at the beginning of the season, but I don't know, man. They've just been a disappointment. I mean, at 1-5, I mean, you never can count Lamar out. And they say he's supposed to come back after the bye, but man, 1-5 is a really big hole to come from. And like we were talking about beforehand, before we hopped on the pod, there's so many teams that they would have to jump over. So many teams that we didn't expect to be good, like Jacksonville and Indianapolis, and teams like that. You know what I mean? That are better than we thought they were going to be. So, I mean, look at the Steelers. They're 4-1. I mean, Mike Tomlin always wins, but nobody thought they was going to be 4-1. You know what I'm saying? So, it'll be interesting, man. I mean, I believe in Lamar, man, but it's going to be, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be a hard thing. It'll be a hard thing to overcome. Chiefs, and I will say this, and it's going to make a lot of people mad, right? And this is what I truly believe. The Chiefs will not make the playoffs this year. The Kansas City Chiefs are not going to the playoffs. Besides Mahomes is having an MVP level season. I can't hate. He's been balling, but their best players haven't been playing their best. Chris Jones, we all saw what he did against Jacksonville when he gave up on that play when Trevor Lawrence failed and ended up scoring. Pacheco, I know I sound like a hater, but I think he's one of the most overrated players in the league. He does all that hooping and hollering every time he runs the ball, and then you look at his final stats, fucking 18 carries for 40 yards, you know what I'm saying? But he gets 3 yards, but he's running people over, and he's up and hooping and hollering, and he does all that running, but you ain't going nowhere, bro. I think Travis Kelce, he still can make plays, but I mean, I think it's fair to say he's not the Travis Kelce of old. He's just an old Travis Kelce. They get Sheree Rice back. We'll see. I mean, he's a good player, but I wouldn't put him up there with the Pukas and the AJ Browns and the Justin Jeffersons and the Nico Collins. And I wouldn't put him up there with them type of dudes. But we'll see. I could have the Crow, but I don't think the Chiefs will make the playoffs, man. My sleeper team is Denver. I've always been a big Bo Nix fan. I think we're seeing the reincarnation of Drew Brees. I'm a big Bo Nix fan. Cortland Sutton is a dog. J.K. Dobbins has been running his ass off. They got to get a little bit better out of Harvey, right? He's got to be a little bit more consistent, but he's a rookie. So, Troy Franklin, Sean Payton calling the play. That defense, boy, my boy Nick Bonito. Y'all know where that man played college at? That man played at the University of Oklahoma. Nick Bonito probably going to be defensive player of the year, right, dude? You know where he played college at, fellas? Nick Bonito is a beast, man. Patrick J's the best corner in football. They got Tua Funga from San Francisco. He's been balling. And the crazy thing is Dre Greenlaw's been hurt the whole time. So he's supposed to be coming back soon. I really like Denver, man. And as far as the AFC goes and the cost. Daniel Jones, man, it's tough for me, fellas. I don't want to give him credit, man. I got to be honest. He's been playing very well, but Eddie Jones, it's just hard to buy into it, man. He's been playing his ass off, though.
Indiana Jones.
You could be right. You could be right. I'm not a baseball fan, so you could be right. It could have been the coaching. But he's been playing his ass off. That's fair. Jonathan Taylor may be the best. Between him and Bijan, may be the best running back in the NFL. Tyler Warren's been a great rookie tight end. Their defense, they got Latu, they got Brisson Buckner, they got Kenny Moore. They got good players. They got good players all across the board, man. Zaire Franklin, so they're just really good at everything. James Steichen is a great play caller. It's just been interesting, man. And then one more in the AFC, then I'll pivot to the NFC. But the Jaguars, man, they're another team that's kind of got me. I want to buy into Trevor Lawrence, man, but he has a game like he does against Kansas City, and then he goes and has a dud like he did like this past game. You know what I'm saying? Against what they played this past week. They played the Seahawks, and he just goes and has a dud against Seattle. And it just meant that he misses some of the most routine throws. I don't really like how they're using Travis Hunter either. I don't really agree with it. He's great with the ball in the air, and they don't really give him enough opportunities to get the ball in his hands. And then on defense, they barely play him. And it's just been a weird situation. It just all depends on T-Law, man. I want to buy into him, man, but I just think he's just a middle of the pack guy. And as we all know, man, the better teams, 9 times out of 10, you got to have a dog at quarterback. And there's exceptions to every rule. And 9 times out of 10, you got to have a dog in every quarterback. And I'll pivot to the NFC Eagles. Like I've always told y'all, as you see, I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl, the NFC. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy, but I thought they didn't use A.J. Brown well last year. And this year, it boggles my mind why they use him so little. And just, now, who's been balling is Dallas Goedert, but AJ Brown, I mean, it's just with Saquon, it just goes to show, man. People have pride in the NFL, man, and these people don't want to. A great player is a great player. Saquon, borderline Hall of Famer, is a great running back. But when people game plan against you, it's hard, man. Everybody's game planning. They're literally saying, I'd rather Jalen Hurts beat you, right? And you're going to win some of those when you say that to the Eagles, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Jalen Hurts is he's a great quarterback, but he's not somebody that's going to shred you for 350 yards every week. That's not his game, right? And they're not using A.J. Brown right now. They may even end up trading him. Who knows? Because he don't seem like he's happy. So that's an interesting thing, man. Their defense, Quinyon Mitchell just ended up getting hurt, and they already were struggling in the back end opposite him. They had Dory Jackson and Ringo playing, but they were both getting toasted. So if Quinyon Mitchell got hurt again in the Giants game Thursday. So if Quinyon is hurt, man, they're going to be in trouble on that back end. But and then they've had injuries on the O-line too. So, and then that tush puss doesn't seem like it's been as lethal of a weapon for them as normal. Dallas, Prescott, if they had a better record, Prescott probably be the runaway MVP. He's been playing quarterback for just probably better than anybody. But again, we're talking, they can't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't stop us if we were on the field. Their defense is horrible. So they're not going to go very far, which is unfortunate because Prescott is playing well enough for them to be a contender. And that's without CeeDee Lamb really been on the field. They've been playing well. The Rams, man, they've been kind of frustrating because they have so much talent. I don't know how they lost to the Eagles game. And then they lost to the to the San Francisco 49ers with Mac Jones playing. So it just Stafford going to the Hall of Fame again. But just like the game he had this past week, they ended up winning the game, but I think they ended up beating the Ravens, but it was 17-3. And the Ravens have a horrible defense, right? And I think Stafford had only 180 yards passing. He was 12 of 26 against the Baltimore Ravens. Come on, bro. We need you to be better.
Puka got hurt, though.
But I'm saying, you still got Devontae. You got Tutu Atwell. You know what I'm saying? You still got some weapons. Kyron Williams can catch the ball out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Higbee. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. They ain't that bad. You got Whittington. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Puka's probably been playing the best receiver anybody in the NFL this year. But Devontae Adams going to the Hall of Fame. He's not no baller. You know what I'm saying? So
he got his 4. That's a good number for him. Somewhere between 4 and 7, probably.
Right. But 12 or 26 isn't good enough. That's all I'm saying. That's less than 50% completing the ball. And you're just not going to win with him playing like that. Now, against the Ravens, you can get away with it. But to only score 17 on Baltimore's defense is kind of disappointing. Now, who the team who I'm really nervous about with my Bears pick is Tampa. Man, that dude, Baker Mayfield. Man, where do you go to college, fellas?
Texas Tech.
Okay.
Texas Tech.
Baker. What I love about Baker, man, is I think what I love about Baker so much is he believes in himself more than anybody does, man. You can truly see it in him in the way he plays. Like, he may not be the biggest, he may not be the fastest, he may not have the strongest arm, but he believes in himself. You can just tell by the way he plays. He has no fear. The dude is fearless, man. He's a competitor. And when you talk about weapons, when they get healthy, with Bucky, Rashad, K. Dotton, Godwin is back. I know he's hurt now, but Mike Evans, Abuka, Sterling Shepard. They got weapons all across the board. Now, the O-line's a little bit shaky, and Todd Bowles is always going to have a decent defense. So, Tampa's got me a little nervous with my Bears pick because I believe in Baker, man. And I know I use the word believe, but I don't use it all the time. And I believe in him. I think Detroit is really good. But again, like I always say about Detroit, is what does it come down to? When you need Jared Goff the most, what does he do? He reverts back to his old ways where he throws the ball to the other team. That's the only thing that, because I'm on Ross St. Brown is dog. I love watching him. Porter's been balling lately. I don't know if y'all saw that catch he had on Monday night in the back end of the end zone. Porter, oh my goodness. I mean, not Monday night, sorry, Sunday night against the Chiefs. That touchdown that Laporta caught, oh my gosh. I love the catch. Porter's a great player. Go ahead.
It hurt me on fantasy.
I know he was on my team, so you know I was loving it. But I just don't believe in Jared Goff when the games get the biggest. It's all. I think once they get some more of their bodies back on defense, Hayden Hutchinson is great. They got two great safeties. Once they get their corners back, they'll be fine on defense. I just don't believe. I know, man. I know. I just don't believe in Jared Goff. Same thing with Green Bay. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I don't think he's that good. Their defense is good, but Jordan Love turns the ball over in some funky ways to me that it just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? So Seahawks, I like their defense, but again, do you trust Sam Darnold when the games get on the line? I don't. But now Jackson Smith-Njigba has been killing it. I don't know where the hell that came from, but I mean he was good last year, but he's like all pro good this year. Panthers, I told you, I always used to make a joke at work when we were talking about our fantasy draft. I said, I'm going to draft Bryce Young, number 1 overall. People was like, go ahead and do it, right? He's average, but man, Tedero and McMillan, bro, he's way better than I thought he was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Rico Dowdle has been toting that thing. Panthers are 3-3. Who would have said that? So, you know, man, it's just been interesting, man. The Chiefs, last thing, I forgot to talk about my Bills. And JA-17, I trust, baby. Now, I know they're going through a little slide. And they gotta make a trade, man. Their safeties are awful. They can't do anything on the back end with that safety play they have. And it's so frustrating because they run all this freaking zone defense and they leave these dudes wide open. Penix was killing them. And I was just like, why won't y'all switch it up? But if they play defense like they play Monday night, they're not going to the Super Bowl. But I just believe in Josh Allen, man. I know he's been turning the ball over more than he has been in the past few years. That I don't know what that's about, but I think it's just like Clayton likes to say. I think he would be right if he said now he's trying to do too much currently just because of his defense is so bad. So I'll give you that. He's been trying to compensate for his defense. He's been making a lot of risky, not typical Josh Allen throws, man. That's just been my take of the past couple of weeks. And as far as next week goes, man, Giants Broncos will be an interesting game, man. Like we said in our previews, I think the Giants are going to the playoffs. I'm a big Jackson Dart guy. I think Scatterboo's just okay. I know Neighbors is gone, but Wan'Dale Robinson, we got to get Slayton going. Jalen Hyatt's got to show a pulse. Hopefully we can trade for a receiver, but I don't know no team in the NFL that can go. D. Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. I don't know any defense that can do that. So they're going to rush the passer. If we can get any play out of the back end, then we're going to the playoffs. Giants Broncos will be an interesting game. I think Rams Jaguars will be a good game. I think my sleeper is Raiders Chiefs. If Geno Smith cannot throw any picks, I think the Raiders may win that game. Bears playing the Saints. I think Caleb's going to have 350 yards passing. Eagles Vikings. I'm going Vikings. I think Eagles lose 3 in a row. I think Jalen Hurts throws 2 interceptions. And I think J.J. McCarthy has 150 yards passing. But I think Justin Jefferson's going to have 100 yards, and I think Jordan Mason's going to run the ball really well. Packers Cardinals. I don't have time for the Cardinals. I've always thought Kyler Murray was just in. Commanders Cowboys. I'm going Dallas this game. But I think Commanders will have a better record overall. But I'm going Dallas this game. I think George Pickens, he's been playing like a monster all year. I think he's going to kill them. But I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a great game because everybody plays great against Dallas. And the Monday night games are interesting. You got Buccaneers, Lions, Texans, Seahawks. I'm going with the Lions just because they're at home. I think Amon-Ra is going to have 120. I think Jameson's going to have 80 in the tub. I think Laporta's going to have 80 in the tub. And I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get back rocking. I think he's going to have 100 yards all purpose. And Ibuka's not playing Monday night. So, and Mike Evans is questionable. So if they get Evans back, that'll help. But if they don't have, without Ibuka, and they say Godwin's not playing either. So it'll be tough. And then Texas Seahawks, man, with a real CJ Stroud stand up, right? When he gets protection, he plays well, right? You got to protect him. Their defense is, I mean, the defense has never been a problem there. And it's not going to be with DeMeco Ryans as a coach. But again, which Sam Darnold's going to play. And Sam Darnold has been playing like a Pro Bowler, or we're going to get that Sam Darnold against Detroit in the playoffs last year. I never know with that dude. So that's my take, man. And like I said, my main takes, I really want y'all to hear me on this. Chiefs are not making the playoffs. The Chicago Bears are going to the Super Bowl. And the New York Giants will make the playoffs. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all heard it here first.
Hot take. Hot take.
Hot take. That's my hot takes. And you heard it here first. So
I appreciate the hot take.
LJ, what you got, bro?
No, I mean, I'm down with the Chiefs not making the playoffs. I'm realistic as a Chargers fan. If the Chiefs don't make it, man, that's good for me. It's a rough one though. It's definitely a rough one to suggest that. Now you covered a lot of it. Like the last few weeks, injuries been a huge factor for teams. Some no more undefeated teams, right? I think that's a big call out there. Everyone's bet their match. Whether it been one of those fluke losses to a team, you're like, hey, I didn't think they'd lose this, or they finally came across that good opponent. Saw all the teams lose their 4-0, 5-0, whatever the records may have been. Everyone's now got a loss. Seeing some teams giving up. I think we're talking a little bit before. You don't necessarily agree. I kind of agree here. I think Lamar's giving up on his team. Biggest culprit of it, though, is definitely Tua. Tua's pointing the fingers around his team, and was his last loss to the Chargers. He's like, hey, players aren't showing up to players-only meetings, or just pretty much putting the blame everywhere he can possibly go besides himself. Just rough choices there. Chiefs are on a momentum spike, so that makes me worried. I think that's the thing. They're getting player back, a key player, right? Getting Rice back, so that's going to be something to look out for. Ravens at this point are just going to be a team that could maybe try to sneak in. I don't even see them sneaking in. Still early in the season, though, guys. So enough time for teams to start making mistakes, and other teams, capitalizing on those mistakes. But I don't know. But AFC is looking interesting. Chargers, Colts this week. That'll be a good one. Colts are ranked number 1. Chargers ranked number 3. So if Chargers can pull that one off, they're pretty banged up. I think it'll be a pretty big one there. Jonathan Taylor's going to be, I think, the biggest issue that day. Guy's a running machine. So it'll be a curious matchup, and I'm excited for that one. Not only as a Chargers fan, but those are, two really high-ranked teams currently in the NFL. But trying to think what else has happened the last couple of weeks. I mean, injuries is the biggest ones that hurt me.
Tyreek Hill's knee injury.
Oh, man, that was gnarly. That was ugly. That was gross. But yeah, I mean, fantasy fans out there, I feel your pain when it comes to the injuries, whether it be 1 week injuries or people going on IR for 4 weeks. It's been rough. It's been a rough one out there. So, but yeah, going into this next week, there's going to be a lot of cool games. I think Pittsburgh against Cincy, that's just one of those games that Flacco could come through and pull that through, and Cincy gets a random win over Pittsburgh. Kind of, setting some different balances in that division. If for some chance Cincy can get some wins in there and give them a push to try to get to a wild card spot, if it's a possibility, guys, hear me out. It's a long shot. Joe Burrow comes back. They only need to win a game or two. If Joe Flacco can get them there, if he doesn't get hurt, that's something I think is going to be one of my long shot hot takes, is since he could still try to pull something through. Don't see it likely. The reason I say that is because the Ravens just don't look like the Ravens. It's really, really weird Ravens season. What other ones are looking good this week? The fact you think Chicago is going to just do that to New Orleans, I hope that New Orleans is just beat Chicago.
He's going to have 350 yards passing.
I think it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those where like New Orleans is horrible, right? And then he loses to New Orleans, and what do you come back and say? You know, I just can't wait to hear.
It's not. It won't happen.
I don't see it happening, but if it does, I do not see Las Vegas beating Kansas City. Would love for it to happen. As far as being a Chargers fan, just can't see it happening, especially because this is
they're 12.5 point favorite. 12.5.
Yeah, well, this is the week they get Rice back. Gino's not been great. Chance he can have a good day running against them.
It just depends on if he don't turn it over. They're not going to win, but I think they can make it close.
Maybe. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Philly, Minnesota, I'm actually excited for. So McCarthy should be playing that game. Just curious to see that. See Philly get a little loss would be interesting. York Denver would definitely be good. Scadaboo is he's become one of my favorite running backs in the game. He's just electric, right? He's an electric player to watch. Is he one of the best running backs in football? No. But he's electric, man. He's entertaining to watch, right? It's just one of those things.
Yeah, this is LJ's ideal football player. Just like how he is with UFC fighters. He's all about the electric, electricity.
Hey, man. The guy, you want to root for the guy. He's
entertainment.
He's funny. He's a caveman. Let's just be honest. He's a caveman. It's straight up caveman football. Like I've seen like videos and pictures and memes where it's Camp's got to be running for the end zone. He's got a wide, clear path. The defender gets out of the way. He decides to go just take the defender out real quick. He just runs like that.
We'll see how long his career lasts.
He's a running back, so probably not long. Sadly. But again,
he can catch, though. He can catch. He's got catching abilities. I saw
but he likes physical too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see.
Just give it a year and see what he does next year as far as physical contact. But he's a
good weapon to have on that team.
Giants go nowhere. Jackson Dart is a region. Giants are relevant.
So disagreed. I think
I thought you were talking about the defensive line. The defensive
line. Yeah, the defensive line there.
But I'm saying they wouldn't win it with just a defensive line. They had to have a quarterback in there. They started winning when Jackson Dart got it started as a starter.
Russell put up one of the biggest yards of the season.
Against who? Against who?
Was
Dallas. It was Dallas. And then what happened the next week against Kansas City? He ended up getting benched after that game. He didn't do nothing. And then what happened when he came in Thursday night to fill in for Jackson a couple of plays? He throws the ball into the fucking ground. What are we talking about?
All I'm saying is, it's like everyone just wants to hate on Russell Wilson. He's a Super Bowl champion, all right? Got to throw a little respect his way.
So is Flacco. So is Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, that's why I respect Flacco. I respect these people that are in these positions. They're old. They're just doing what they can, all right? Russell Wilson had a really good game. Was it like 450 yards or 430 yards?
Oh, you would have did that against Dallas. You would have. They're awful on defense.
The disrespect to these professional 1% athletes is wild.
Well, you know what I mean. What I'm saying is, compared to their peers, they're awful.
I would say they're not looking good. Not looking good. But Green Bay, Arizona should be pretty washed because Arizona, Kyler's hurt, right? Went out this last week.
He's questionable.
Yeah.
With a foot injury.
So, other than that, some of the other games just really aren't super entertaining or exciting. I mean, it's good to have a good division game on Thursday. Love to see it. Just sadly, the Bengals are not with Joe Burrow, so the game is not as exciting. But
Rams Jaguars will be good in London.
I'm just getting tired of these London games, man. Like, I cannot do a 8:00 in the morning game.
Yeah, you can.
No,
No, I mean,
it's not that I'm not awake. I mean, sometimes after a Saturday, it can be a challenge, but it's just because you're essentially just watching football and no, I love football. Get up 8 in the morning. Game's over by 10, 11, give or take. Your game's at noon. And then you get your game at 3, and I love all this.
I love it. I do it every Sunday. I'm on the couch. I ain't moving.
It's the gift that keeps on giving,
No, and I love it. It's just the London games for me, man. I like to go out and watch the game, but then sometimes you get behind, if it's like, hey, I want to go watch the game here, I want to go watch the game there. Start missing some stuff, It's just a little challenging. But, diverse markets, trying to build some stuff out there.
They go to getting a pro franchise there in Vixen.
I would say Monday's matchup has probably one of my favorite matchups of the week. It's going to be Tampa Bay and Detroit. I love
I don't know why
Baker.
they keep doing these double headers on Monday night. What is that?
That's getting rough too. I mean, Chargers had that, and they didn't. The game wasn't over till 12:20 at night.
Right.
Like usually, like basketball. It's like basketball. It's not really fair to some of the fans, right? Like I said, I mean, I don't have family or children, but you're up till midnight on a work night, watching a football game. It's not exactly easy to get done or accomplished. So, I'm assuming they're doing it for network reasons, right? Trying to get something pitched over to Peacock, Paramount, one of these streaming platforms, but. Doubleheader Mondays, I could do without. I liked it that there was one primetime game on Monday,
Me too.
one on Thursday, and that's fine with me. Sunday night football. That's like, can you imagine 2 Sunday night football games? Like, just
That'd be brutal.
it's what's the point? You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, these
It kind
are
of takes away from the
games.
mystique.
It does.
Monday night football is Monday night football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hey, doubleheader. Starting out, it's like, hey, you want to watch the game? Which one? Well, I don't really care about the first one. We're gonna watch it. Cool. Well, hey, the other one starts at 9. So now if you're like, hey, we're gonna meet up with my friends and go watch the game, you're out on a Monday somewhere until midnight. One or more of your friends' house watching it. It's not practical. So, but
I was gonna say I don't mind the hour gap, but not 3-hour gap.
Right. From 6 to 9. Literally.
Like this past week was 1 hour, right? But
Yeah, 1 hour.
3-hour because of the West Coast, and I'm Texans, so probably.
if you're
Yeah, you will be. You will be watching that game.
well, hey, what about the East Coast is watching the dog? Every time these guys are getting on this game, it's almost 1 a.m.
I'm hear that, but I'm like, I'm just saying, if you're a fan, you should go watch.
I don't know. I just don't know why the decision was to do it this year like that. Because I feel like they're taking away one afternoon game on Sundays, if I'm looking at it right. Is that only like two or 3 games on a Sunday afternoon, like the 3 o'clock games? And you could easily just make that 4 3 o'clock games. But
I think this is the last week of the Monday night doubleheader, though.
yeah, I don't understand why they're doing it. This doesn't make sense. I have to look up into it. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the Detroit Bucks game. Baker's again, an electric player. I like to watch him. He's fun to watch. You rally behind him. My vote for MVP this year currently is him. Rooting for the guy. Not really big into college by any means, but it's good for the state. Oklahoma fans love to root for Baker and like to see him go places. Like to see kind of the underdog story, pass around between different teams. Guy, people didn't think he was that good or whatever excuse they have for not wanting to keep him. Lands over here filling in Tom Brady's shoes, and those are big shoes to fill, right? Coming into a system, and he's doing good things. He's doing good things with the Bucks, and it's hard not to root for the guy. That's what I got going into it. Clay, what you got?
All right, so Chiefs are making the playoff. I don't care what you say. Chiefs are making it. The only way that the Chiefs don't make the playoffs is somehow the Bengals win their division. Or not Bengals, Ravens. Somehow the Ravens win their division. And that ain't happening. That's the only way they're going to win or not make the playoffs.
The AFC West get 2 teams, bro. Denver and Chargers. That's it.
Broncos are going to choke. So it's going to be Chiefs that take that spot or one of the wild cards. They could still win the division. They're only 1 game back of overall standing advantage. Okay. But they got to make up from the division, right? They're on a hot streak, I think. You can tell by the way they're playing. They're on the up. They just got Rice. They're all their offensive weapons are not. There's no like individual, right? But they're all working together to make the offense. So if one goes down, I honestly would be worthy that would make the most impact because of his speed. They don't have speed in the other players. But if, say, Juju went down or Pacheco went down, it's less impact. But the other players, they have to work probably around contracts and stuff like that. And that's probably why they're set up this way. They don't have like a star receiver right now. but Rice could come in and create a huge impact. He could be that guy. But they're only getting better from here. They're not getting worse. So I honestly think they'll make the playoffs. Now with the Texans, it's shakier. They got to beat out Broncos and Jaguars. In my opinion, everyone else is kind of set. I feel like that's the only determining slot left is between the Broncos, Jaguars, and Texans. Everything else, I think, is set to go. They're all going to make the playoffs. I don't see there being a huge change in the AFC.
So how many teams do you think is coming out the north? You think it's just Pittsburgh, right, and not Baltimore or Cincy, right?
Right, and that if one of them did, for some reason, somehow Flacco came in, like LJ was saying, made a couple wins, and then Burrow came back and won. I just don't see it being possible. Like, they have 1-0 in their division, so that's good for the Bengals. But that's the only that might be a way. But Ravens, it's just really bad. They can't be a wild card because their record against the conference,
right? It's horrible.
So they have to win their division probably to make the playoffs. So if that were to happen, yeah, I think maybe Steelers make that make up one of those slots, and then Chiefs are out, or something like that, But I don't think that's possible. History has shown that's really hard to do. They always talk about starting 0-3. They talk about all the statistics around that, and I just think that's just too much of a hurdle. One thing I think we need to start factoring in these people's records is strength of schedule. Colts are right now number 1, right? But their strength of schedule is 3-8-9. And if you look at everyone below them besides the Bills, Bills have the weakest and then them. And, so I honestly think the Colts have just been lucky with the schedule so far. I think they're going to drop. They may still win the division, but I think at the very most, they're going to be the 4th seed as the division winners. They could drop into the wild card. And Texans and Jaguars could take that division. I honestly think it's going to be a close race. Like, we're not that far out if you think about schedule, and the future schedule. Because I honestly think they just have a weak schedule so far. Because you look at all these other teams, we mentioned no undefeated teams, but the better teams have had harder schedules, It's so I don't, I think that's playing a factor into this year. Because even the Bucks, they have a 500 strength schedule. I think if they're healthy, they're obviously the best team in the league,
For sure.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think better than the AFC too. I think, but they just had some injuries, 49ers had some injuries. I think they're going to drop a little bit because I think the Seahawks are going to take the division because of injuries from 49ers.
Yeah, for sure.
Seahawks, I think, are a little underrated right now. I think they're under the radar. They have right now one of the strongest schedules at 5-7-1. And if they're tied, or actually Bengals have a higher schedule, but they're one of the hardest schedules, and they're still only, 4-2. So I think they're going to take the division. Rams, the West, NFC West could have 3 teams. Depends how long.
Easily.
The 49ers, they're just really coached well, and they just have a great franchise altogether. They just stick together. Even though Fred Warner is a big, that hurts a lot. But they just have they just get a lot. It's just one of those franchises that are at least around this time, they're successful. You know, there was a gap in between, was it the 90s and somewhat of, where they weren't good, but this is around time when they are good. So I just think they just find ways to win, even though they're hurt, you know? Um, but yeah, the Bears, I don't trust the Bears at all. I just think the conference, if you look at the Rams, Lions, Seahawks, 49ers, they may get in with that last wild card if 49ers drop too far. But
So I think they're better than San Francisco, personally.
Caleb Williams still runs around in a way that shows his lack of experience. Just seeing him run, he took a hit this past game I saw, and I was like, "Why are you taking a hit, man?" And he was like on the sidelines almost, and I was just like, "Don't take that hit," Like, and he wasn't even like jumping for a first down or anything like that. It was just like, and sometimes he doesn't throw the ball away. He tries to run, and there's just some rookie mistakes, in my opinion, to describe him, that he still makes. So and even the Commanders could leapfrog and get into the playoffs. Daniels is just really good, and he's been hurt. He's been hurt, so I still have confidence in him and his processing. He processes he does his, he goes through a lot, and he can, do a whole lot through that. So yeah, Colts, don't trust them. Seahawks, talked about the Seahawks. Okay. And so the Giants. No, it's Giants, come on. They're one of those teams that are just gonna wreak havoc. The rookies,
The playoffs, right?
Was that?
I said to the playoffs, right?
No, they're not going to the playoffs because they're just rookies that will win the big games. Like they beat the Eagles, they have that sort of energy. They want the spotlight, and they don't care. But you go to these other games that they lose, and it's just like you can't trust them to be up for every game. You know what I mean? You can't. They're already, okay, so they're 1-2 in their division. They're probably not going to beat the Eagles again.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. And so they got up for the Chargers. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Eagles. Those are good teams. They got up for them, but then they lose to the Saints.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
So I just don't. I think they're going to be, high energy, nothing to lose, but if they're not in the spotlight, I'm not sure they'll take it as seriously. I don't trust that as much, because it's just sometimes you can be that type, of players. Of course, Scadaboo's energy, energy, energy. Like he's all full of energy, and he's gonna get up for those big games. He's gonna get up. He's like a McGregor, he's gonna put on a show. He's gonna get up. But if it's like a morning game or something not as entertaining, then who knows if he gets up, and then it won't be there as much. They're not the core yet. The core is the defensive line, right? That's gonna be that's what they'll build on as far as maintain that, and then everything else you kind of just have to build up to support that. So I'm not convinced on that. So this week 7, yeah, Thursday game. It'd be like I feel like I'm obviously leaning towards Pittsburgh, but you know, Flacco could come in and steal one. You know, he's a vet. If he stays, if they don't, it's all about the line. It's going to be at the line. You know, if he can stay, you know, not getting pressured a whole lot, then he has a chance. But if they don't, no chance. So it's all going to be one at the line, in my opinion, that game. So interesting games this week. I see, we'll learn a lot about the Colts against the Chargers. I think that will be, if they win, I think that will be a good team that they win against. But if they lose, I feel like that's just kind of showing us, who they are. They're not as top dogs as some people are giving them credit for. The Houston Seattle game, I just feel like it's bad position for Houston, being West Coast time zone, late game. I just feel like, and Seahawks, they're a good team. And so even though Houston has been, get right game, Titans, Ravens, bye week, they have everything set up for them to win this game, to show that they're worthy of, the playoffs. But Seattle's good, and it's a late game in West Coast, and, it's hard to, they have a good home field advantage in Seattle. And, Cooper Kupp may not be getting me a whole lot of points, but
Well, he hasn't been doing anything, bro.
but they've been winning, and they're headed in the right direction. I think they're going to be a strong team. Not really seeing Kansas City heavy favorite against Las Vegas. Not surprised there. Another team that I think that's on the rise is New England. I picked up Drake May because I really do think they're on the rise. He's been, he's keeping his composure, making the throws, and they got another get right. They can have a good get right game against Titans. Titans could come out with a lot of energy with new coach, right? The coach got fired, I think.
Yeah.
So they could come out with a lot of energy, but I just think New England, man, they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, homecoming from Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah. So Vrabel, I think, would want to put it on him. Even though he had a good run there. I mean, he did what he could. I personally think, as far as their
it's just hard when you're a quarterback. Like, they had Tannehill for a lot of that time, and he's just okay.
Yeah. So Minnesota just came off bye against Philadelphia. So I think that'll be an interesting game. It could go really, because is JJ going to play McCarthy? Is he going to play? Are they going to have a different game plan?
Well, they play well, though.
Yeah. So, and how quickly would they switch to Carson if given
he struggles?
Given that Carson,
he played okay in relief.
Yeah, he gave him, close games, and from what I'm reading, he's not 100%. So they may, but even then they play the Chargers the next week. So it's not like he's going to get like a get right game, or then they play the Lions. So it's all, it's boom, 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 So.
You gotta use him, see what he's got. It's your second year with him.
You have to. You got to find out what you got, or you have to get rid of him.
Yeah, from what I could tell, from what I saw, I didn't. As far as franchise quarterback, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it.
I agree. I agree.
He did have that energy, that rookie energy against
The Bears took him down to win and
the
beat
Bears.
the Bears.
Yeah.
He took a game-winning drive for a rookie. I thought he looked again. Not really. I guess didn't play last year, so I'm gonna call it rookie, right? But
Yeah.
Oh, but he's not throwing the ball for many yards though. He's not getting any big plays. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's more like he, what do they call those people that just control
Game manager.
game manager? Yeah, he's more of a game manager. Don't make too many mistakes. You have talent around you. You have Jefferson. You have
Addison's back.
Addison, Hawkinson,
yeah,
Aaron Jones will be back next week.
he'll be back, and you have Mason. So they have tons of talent, and they have a good coach. I think their coach,
He's a great coach.
he works really good with quarterbacks, and so it's just be a game manager, and I think they can get wins. I just don't think they can win a Super Bowl.
No, they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's basically everything I have. Y'all have anything y'all want to add?
Hey, like I said, man, upset of the week. Giants go to Denver. I know I have Denver winning the division. Giants gonna win that game, man. Giants will upset the Denver Broncos this weekend at Denver. Upset of the week.
It's like a double
Remember-
dig. It's
Hey,
like a
man.
double
Remember-
dig there.
Remember, fans in the pod, I need y'all to comment and tell me how much y'all agree with me. Giants will upset Denver Broncos.
Man, the way they looked, their offense looked. I don't know. Denver's offense.
It looked horrible last week.
Yeah. So
And well, the Giants didn't just beat Philly; they demolished them. I'm not even trying to. I know I'm a Giants fan, but they demolished Philly in that game. You gotta admit that wasn't a close game at all.
yeah, I just don't. I worry about getting up for it. The spotlight. Is this a
But they're
spotlight?
getting Super Bowl champs, and they demolished them though. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about this game against Denver.
That's a big game. 4-2 Denver's 4-2.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
We'll see.
I'm confident to win. I like you're calling out.
Of course, you're down for them to win.
Yeah, they call it the Broncos lose, the Chiefs lose, the Raiders.
I want
As long as I
Broncos to
didn't
lose.
hear a Chargers prediction, and then you can keep that to yourself. Don't even put that in the atmosphere. But those are good predictions. I like this guy's thought.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, 350 yards. Promise you. We'll talk about it next week.
That's fine. He ain't playing my boys, so yeah, talk all you want about that kid.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta over San Francisco. For some
I like the
reason,
way Penix has been playing. That's not a bad pick.
I don't think he's like superstar. I think he can manage the game and what
He's got a big time arm though.
he does, but I don't know. I think his decisions are kind of like
It's questionable. But Bijan Robinson is a monster.
yeah. So he can manage, manage it. Pitts needs to step up. He was dropping some passes last game.
See, we just say that about Pittsburgh every year.
I know, but he's eventually got to do something.
Right. Drake London came on. Mooney was hurt. So
Yeah. So they got to step it up. But I think that would be my upset if it is an upset. It technically is an upset based on the line. So you got one, LJ? You got an upset?
Not really. I mean,
go ahead and pick the Raiders. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I mean, you know what? Ashton Genty for 200 yards. Let's go. I got him in fantasy. I'd love to see it.
I'll give you. I'll say this: Patriots, Titans. Let's say Titans beat Patriots. That'll be your upset pick. Cam Ward, lead out, come back.
Those are the type of games that could happen. Yeah, I mean, Saints. Actually, my upset game. I think it'd say I think Saints take Bears.
No way! No way!
Watch it, man. Saints and Bears. You like
No way!
whoa, what? Something like that.
You were gonna eat crow again, Leo. You're gonna eat crow again.
Come on, see, Will. I need you, brother. Man, another good conversation, man. Always good to talk sports with you guys. And again, like I tell the fans, Leo's always right. And I always want you guys from now. This Ian was saying, Leo, you're right. That's what we're going to end every pod with. Leo, you're right. Hey, again, man, we need the fans. We need subscribers. Spread the word. We need comments. We need likes. We need views. We need y'all, man. That's what's going to make it spread and make it bigger, man. But again, it's always fun having conversations with my brothers, man. Again, this is LKJ Sports. I'm Leo, Clay, LJ, LKJ Sports. Like, subscribe, comment, view. Peace.